There you
Hey,
go. It was good.
Reddit. How you
Was
doing?
good.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
You know what? I'm much better now than I was before. Dealing with all this different weather stuff, all these different changes. We had that cold front,
Yeah, you got your allergies too.
yeah, and I wasn't used to all the cold front stuff because we've been out here in Miami for going on 5 years now.
I know.
Going on
I
5 years
know.
now. But listen, I want to tell you guys we're so excited to have Mr. Williams back, Sean Williams of Cohiba, the blender, the ambassador. You guys know him. 6'8", 6'9" of all that dark chocolate sexiness. We're bringing him back. So you guys stick and stay. Uh,
What you got? What are you smoking?
you know what? I have the 2018,
The Cohiba Spectre.
and
I've
I
been holding on to this, Michael, for since Sean gave it to
know
us.
that's mine.
Well, you know what? We'll talk about that later. You got your drink?
I, I do. I got some
Okay.
Fleur de Cognac.
All right, y'all. So y'all, the audience that watches us, thank you so much for your continued support. We so appreciate you guys. Go get your cigar, go get your drink, and come back in about 30 seconds. We'll be right back.
Hey, welcome back. What's good? What's good with it?
Yes, good. Sorry, I can't keep my drink down.
What are you doing?
I'm drinking some Jack.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Anyway,
It's too early for all of that.
no, it's not.
The
It's
way
4 o'clock.
you shutting it down right now?
It's 4 o'clock. Um, Welcome back, y'all. So we're really excited to have Sean Williams back. This is a part of our My Life series that we are continuing on. We've had Carlito Fuente. Thank you, Arlene, for all of that, bringing Carlito on. And then we had uh, David Gomes from Escobar Cigars was
Mm-hmm.
here for his My Life series, and then we have Sean Williams. Sean's been with us before, but he was with Jonathan Drew. We had Ricky Rodriguez on there, so it was a panel. But this time we're going to focus on Sean. So what I'm going to do while Arlene and KC have a conversation with Sean is I'll be on screen and I'll be monitoring the and giving shout outs from the audience. And so if you guys want to comment and you have anything to share with Sean, Michael's going to put your name and your comment on the screen, and then we'll shout you guys out. We so appreciate you. And what you got on?
Looking at my chronometer of time, my Minnesota Irish.
We'll get into that too.
Yeah.
So let's bring Arlene on.
Absolutely. Hey, what's good?
Hey, girl.
Hey
Look at
y'all.
you.
Looking all good.
Look like you got
I
off
got
a
my
boat. How are you?
Cohiba, Connecticut. I got my rum.
Well, there you go. You and Michael and your rum today.
You bougie today.
Mhm.
You
I bet
bougie.
you
Oh my
Sean
God.
has bourbon. I bet you Sean has bourbon.
Oh wow. Well, happy
You-
Sunday, y'all. It's so good to be
Yes.
back.
Yes.
So
So,
good.
It is good to have you back. We missed you.
yeah.
Mm.
We missed you. It was a
And
little
we
little
missed
awkward.
you. I missed you guys.
Well,
Aw.
you guys are busy, and we get it. So
Yeah.
we
So we
get
Yeah.
have to we
Just
have to
trying to
take
deal with
on,
life.
yes, life and just takes a hold of us sometimes. Work
Right,
and life
right,
balance. But
right. But
Casey's
everybody looks good. You guys look
Casey's
good.
not here yet, so we're gonna go ahead and continue on. And
Okay.
before we bring Sean on, there's the hot topic I guess we should talk about is Sean's new, I guess this new Connecticut that they have. That's one thing that we want to ask him. That packaging looks like lipstick packaging. Have you ever seen it?
No.
It's not
What are you
lipstick.
laughing at?
It's not lipstick.
It's not lipstick, but it looks like a lipstick packaging. It's sexy.
It is. It's sexy. Are you talking about this or a
I don't
different
know.
one?
That's one thing I want to ask Sean about because I have not gotten my hands on that new one. And the packaging is amazing. So let's bring Sean on. Michael, please.
Okay.
Hey, what's good with it, man?
What you shaking your head for?
I'm just landing the cut.
Hi, Sean.
Hey, what's going on? What's good? How's everybody doing?
Hey, man, I didn't know you was handing out
I got
lipstick,
rum.
guys.
I got
Not
Cohiba.
lipstick. It's just it's a play
It
on a
looks
talking
like,
tube.
look at that. It looks like lipstick.
I like it.
I
It's
do
sexy.
too. It's
Yeah.
very sexy.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Mark. Good afternoon. So we have some shout outs with some audience members. Mike Choi from England is with us. He's greetings from London, he says. And we got Jorge Polantes from Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. We got Ronnie Perconi up in the Midwest. So,
Hey, what's up, man?
yeah,
We
you
got
were on
Richard
Ronnie's
Kwan.
show.
We got Justin.
Woo, woo. Yep.
Absolutely. My boy Tyler, what's going on with
A
you,
whole
man?
lot of people. We got Tyler.
Tyler had this sexy shirt.
Yeah, he did.
I got to get one of those. I got to get one of those. You know.
So,
Tanya
we're
look
gonna-
good.
I know, right? He got the Cohiba blue on.
He
Oh,
always
I
looks
thought you were
good.
talking to- I
Ron
feel like
always
a dress,
looks good.
which is rare for me.
That's dressed down for you.
I am at home
Mm-hmm.
on my couch in my grotto, as I call it. So yeah, so
I love that spot, man.
Oh,
Hey,
we sat right there with you.
I love that spot.
That's right.
You've seen the studio.
We did. We saw the studio. We got to sit there. So Casey's not here yet. So I'm going to have Arlene. Arlene is going to, she has some questions for you. So this is more conversational. And I'll chime in when we have some audience questions as well. So since we have you for an hour, we have to like go through everything. Okay. We just appreciate your time.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Thank you. So Arlene, go ahead. Take it away.
All right. Hey, Sean. Oh my gosh. It's so good to have you back. It's been, what is it? It's almost been a year? Almost a year since we had you last. You were
No,
like on our
September.
first episode.
September.
No, yeah, because it was before the
It was before the Wine and Spirit Festival. It was in September.
sometime in the
Well,
fall.
yeah, but since you've been on What's Good, right?
Yeah, September. So it's been a few months, but it feels like forever.
It's been 6 months. Not even that.
I thought our first episode with him and JD, wasn't it our first episode?
No, Skip was our first episode.
Oh, okay. Were they our second?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Sean, it's great to have you back.
Story of my life.
But
It's
we've just,
great to have
we
you
just
back.
missed you. So it's felt like more than 6 months.
Oh
That's
my
what
gosh,
it's
yeah.
felt like.
It feels like forever. But look, Sean, it's so great to have you all to ourselves today.
Mhm.
So we really get to tag team on you today. So how fun is that, right? Yeah.
Wow.
So like I said, you look good. It's good seeing you again.
Thank you.
And how's the weather over there?
He's in Atlanta.
We've been in like in a 2-week cold spell, which is unusual. I mean, mornings in the high 20s, low 30s.
Wow.
Today, I think it tops out at 50 degrees. And
That's
it's
not
been this way
bad.
consistently for a few
Yeah.
weeks, which is not normal. Usually you get
It's not normal.
2 days, maybe a week, and it kind of bounces back. But it's been consistently winter weather here. I mean, without precipitation or snow or anything.
Oh man.
But it's
Well, I'm so sorry. It's
No,
here
it's
in
all good. It's all good.
California, it's about 78 and sunny. So
And it's 80 in Miami.
it's a little windy.
I would feel some kind of hate behind that statement, except that I'm going to be in California this week. So
Oh, you're gonna enjoy it then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyhow,
Nuggets are great.
Sean, I mean, it is super, super special to have you again, right?
Thank
But
you.
and I got to see you on the Professor show last week, so
Mhm.
Oh, was
congratulations
that?
on
Yeah, that was
that.
last Sunday. Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was
That
last
was a lot of fun.
Sunday. So
Yeah, it was a lot of
just
fun.
time just flies by, right?
Yeah, crazy. Yeah.
So my questions to you today is, we always hear about Sean Williams, the face of Cohiba, the ambassador, and all that wonderful
Okay.
stuff. And we love to hear that all day long.
Okay.
But I want to really dig into Sean Williams, the kid who was born and raised in the third ward of New Orleans.
No, I was not
Like,
born and raised in the third ward.
oh, what was
I was
it?
born. I was born and raised in the 11th ward.
11.
Oh, shit. We
Yeah.
were just talking about that. Michael said, for some reason, I thought it was third. Okay, so
No.
tell me
Yeah.
about this 11th ward. First
Wait a
of
minute.
all,
Say that shit for the people in the
first
back.
of all,
Get that, get that,
Say
get
that
that.
shit for the
Get
people
back.
in the back.
Oh, Lord, he came up.
11th ward.
11th word. Go back.
11th ward. Okay, I thought it
No.
was third. I'm so sorry.
No.
But
My
not a lot
mom.
of
My
people
mom owned
know.
a bar in the third ward. Maybe that's the confusion. I don't know.
That's
Maybe
what
that's
it
what
is.
it is. Yeah, because I want to talk about that too. But so yeah, tell us about growing up in the 11th ward.
Oh man. It's interesting. Hey, Kay. Interesting.
Welcome, Casey.
Hey, Casey.
Cigar interview start. Yeah, I mean, New Orleans. I grew up in the Irish Channel of New Orleans. My grandparents bought the home there in like the mid '60s. Um, One of the first, well, not one of the first, but one of the earlier families to sort of integrate that area. It was primarily area for Irish immigrants. And as I came of age, it became more diverse. But growing up uptown in New Orleans, really not just uptown New Orleans. New Orleans in general is just a different thing. I mean, it's I sort of tell people who don't really appreciate it or haven't been. It's culturally, it's just it's very very unique. Um,
It is.
as far as the United States, North America, it is the closest thing to the Caribbean that you will experience in North America, and a lot of people don't really get that until you spent a lot of time in New Orleans and spent a lot of time in the Caribbean and Central American places like that. In Miami, for all of the rich cultural contribution from Miami. Miami is really more Latin, right? But New Orleans just has this interesting mix of you have the Latin influence, you have French Caribbean, you have West African, you have the Spanish. It was the seat of the Spanish government, before it became a part of the U.S. So it's just this mix of just all these different cultures that really just sort of revolves around food, music, family, good vibes, good times, and whatever. And you don't really appreciate that as a kid. You don't appreciate that till you get older and you travel to other places and you go back and it's like, wow, this is like really, really different. So, and I don't fully believe that the people that live in New Orleans right now really appreciate it for what it is. It has its faults, obviously, right? But it was just a great place to grow up, and it's like. And I can't pinpoint specific things about my upbringing that I think prepared me for specific things that came up in life. But I think overall, just having that mix of sort of challenges that New Orleans presents, but also
Right.
being able to appreciate the nuggets that life offers. I think overall, just kind of informs how I view life. You know what I'm saying? But
Exactly.
it's a lot of
And
fun, right? Yeah.
yeah. And that's what I think that's what we want is to focus on again, you growing up and then how you came to be, right? Especially in the cigar world. But not a lot of people dig deep into like how we're raised in our childhood days and things like that. So that's kind of why I like to focus on that. And like you said, man, New Orleans is like so interesting. Like you said, man, there's so many different cultures, and so I think it is extra special to grow up in a place like that, where because that's kind of, you know, that's how we're getting to know you, right? Like where you come from,
Yeah.
and how you appreciate all the different things that life has to offer. So we appreciate that. But so tell us, I know I read somewhere that you would go back and forth between Los Angeles and New Orleans. So
Yeah.
why was that? Why were you guys going back and forth all the time?
My mom was chasing life, just
Uh-huh.
I'm the youngest of four boys. My three older brothers are a good bit older than me. The closest one to me is 8 years older than me, and my oldest brother is 12 years
Wow.
older than me, so forth. Um, so as my brothers were making their way out of the house, so to speak, and mom was, I guess, coming up on 40 thereabouts. Guess it would have been that in 80. And just kind of wanted to change the pace. And it always, she had lived in other places. Had lived in Europe. Being a military spouse for a while. We lived in Atlanta when I was smaller, and she just wanted to get out of New Orleans and
Explore.
do some other things. So we ended up moving out there the first time when I was in fifth grade, which was interesting. It was nobody wants to leave their friends and whatever. I always kind of embraced it though, just meeting new people, learning new cultures, so to speak, experiencing new vibes and new areas, and and it was I sort of, as I look back on it now, I tell my mom that was probably one of the not like she thought it through, thinking, okay, this is going to be so insightful and so helpful for my son in this move. It's like she was kind of at a crossroads in her life, and she wanted to try to grow in different areas, and I was along for the ride. But it turns out it was probably one of the most integral things in my life, as far as being it was so important in that it opened my eyes to different things. Um, and seeing more outside of just New Orleans, right?
Right.
As much as I love New Orleans, but just kind of seeing, it's good to have. I think that as a country, certainly as a country, as a population of people, we'd all be better served. We would all be a much better populace, all a much better collective if we traveled.
Yes.
If we just got out of the small microcosms that we operate in, that keep sort of feeding into all the little bullshit that we believe and think is the best thing for everybody else. If we traveled and really saw how everybody else experienced life, and appreciate, especially within a country, just sort of the different you know vibes and different areas and different cultures and different, just within this country alone, let alone abroad. Um,
Right.
and again, it's something you appreciate as you get older. As I was, a 10-year-old kid, I wasn't thinking, when I had to, start school at 75th Street School in South Central LA, I wasn't thinking like, this is great. I was thinking, how am I going to get home without getting beat up, right? But as you go through it and you survive those things, you think, okay, these are all great experiences. Like it
Right.
all helps, right?
Oh my gosh. I
So
totally agree.
yeah. So for me, that we moved out there, and we were out there for most of my fifth grade year. Ended up coming back. It didn't work out, but we had family out there, so we go back and forth every summer. And that just created a almost lifelong tie to LA. Which my brother still lives out there. He's been out there since the mid '80s. Never came back. He's doing well.
Hmm.
I have family and friends out there that I've had my whole life. So that's like, I can't say a second city, more like a third city for me.
Right.
With Trish, my
Well,
daughter,
that's
and I took her out there this summer. My youngest daughter, to visit USC, and she's just, she's at the time, I guess she had just turned 13. She had just turned 13, and
a
she had never been to
teenager.
Cali. I want to
Mhm.
go to USC. So I was like, all right, well, you do, she was at a different school last year. So if you do good this year in school, then we'll take you out to visit USC. That'll be your, birthday present / reward for going to school. So we went out there, and she loved, just being out in LA, and, just the stars and that whole kind of thing or whatever. But then she was just amazed, like, Dad, like you drive around here without GPS. Like, that's amazing. So, and she doesn't understand like life before GPS, right?
Yeah,
So especially if
yeah,
you lived out there, you took the RTD, RTA,
Right.
RTD. Yeah. So
RTD.
I know the bus routes, right? So I know how to get
Right.
around. So all those things help, just like
That is too
appreciating
funny.
each city, each
Right.
town,
I mean, what did we do
each
without
family.
GPS?
well,
Yeah, right.
it's amazing that you did mention that, a lot of people don't travel. I've met so many people who've never left their city, I mean, never flown in a plane. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of
Well,
people
listen,
from LA
we're,
have not done that.
yeah, I mean, there are different reasons why people may not fly. I mean,
Yeah.
John Madden had all the money in the world, but he was afraid of flying. So I don't
Right.
begrudge about him not flying. I think you're
Right.
very limited as to where you can go if you don't fly. But if it's driving, if it's train, that's something that's underutilized. I mean, just yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do that like within the next year. I'm gonna
Yeah.
decide at some point I'm gonna get on a train and just take a nice train ride and really see the countryside. So
That's
however you travel, I
amazing.
don't care, but you should do it.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
Well,
Well,
isn't it funny? Isn't it funny too, Sean? Like even in just our own area alone where we live, like there's still so
Mhm.
many areas of Los Angeles and California that I haven't even explored, right? So
Hmm.
I'm
you know
like,
what?
gosh.
We have Skip
So,
Martin here on the show right now. Skip is
oh,
saying, "My
Skip.
man Sean, aka Dark and
Okay.
Lovely,"
That's my
and
dude, man. What did he
and
say?
he said Sean, my man Sean, aka Dark and Lovely. He says, "You better get your girl, Mike. Sean has these ladies' eyes glazed over."
Hey, you know what? That's one man
Ah,
I'm not going to
You
fight.
know,
That's one man I'm not going to
get
fight.
back, y'all.
You
So
know,
get
so
back.
so so so
I got that
Stay
very
leave,
back.
white voice going
leave
on.
it leave it to Skip to reduce my being to that. He's lucky
You
I
heard
love him.
that, Skip. You heard that.
Skip is a nut. Hey,
I
Sean, I
only
want to
making
ask you
cigars
this,
for
man.
16 years, but that's what he comes with. He's my dude, though. I love him.
I love Skip. We love
Sean, I
Skip.
wanted to ask you
Sean is
this.
the James Bond.
Your, your, your mom raised you and your siblings there in New Orleans, man. And, I did a little research in regards to the 11th Ward. I did some research in regards to, behind the watch that you shared with us before, the Irish Channel, the show. And, it was stated that now the Irish Channel has kind of changed and developed, almost not necessarily a gentrification, but they have a different group of people there. I mean, obviously it was the Irish immigrants, and then it was more Afro-American affluent, and of course, anytime in the wards, you tend to have things going on. And you just mentioned about, going to LA, going to school in South Central. I mean, man, what was it that kept you out of trouble, dude? Because I mean, both places, and in my show I just read was a couple of weeks ago. They still have people getting shot out there. They still got people getting carjacked out there. So I mean, it hasn't really changed. But you were able to get through both locations to be the guy that you are right now. I mean, what kept you from drifting?
That's a good question, man. I mean,
You got to get a little closer to your mic. There you go.
There you go.
We want to see that sexiness anyway.
no. It's okay. Yeah. So I single mom, but I had 3 older brothers, right? And honestly, my brothers, they wasn't with the shits, man. So um, my oldest brother, he took a different direction early on, and paid his debt to society, so to speak, and came out just as I was turning about 8 years old, and he went on to go to college, get his master's, and he's been in Chicago now for years. So I kind of seen that route, and by the time I was really coming of age, my brother had turned the corner as related to that. And then my other 2 brothers were into sports, both ended up going into the military, and I got into sports early on. So just kind of I just had these different, and then I had uncles. So I mean, it takes a village, right? I didn't want to disappoint my mom, but also I didn't want to get chin checked by one of my brothers, man. So that had its own effect as well. But then at some point they were up and out, and it was just me, right? But still had that kind of that mindset that if you knew better, you do better, right? So I knew right from wrong, and I certainly did my share of dirt and made my mistakes as a kid, but never anything, outside of the normal mischievous stuff that kids do, right? And I saw, when certain crews I was rolling with, the mischievous stuff that we would do as it started to escalate, from being mischief to being a misdemeanor. I'm like, that's why I cut bait, man. It was kind of one of those things, man. And I would have, different things along the way. And the biggest thing, once I got to high school, honestly, it was more sports than anything. I got my first college letter into my freshman year of high school, and that just sort of helped me focus in a lot of different ways, as related to staying out of trouble, as related to sort of getting more serious about academics and stuff like that. So just different things along the way, man. And God, I mean, because Lord knows there's some times where I look back now and think, man, how did I make it out of that, or why didn't I die in a car accident, or what? It's like
Wow.
God has a plan. I haven't figured it out yet. I mean, I hope that I at some point I do something that matters, because you let me stay around 51 years. So,
well, Sean, you're going in the right direction. I think you're in the right path there. But Sean, let me ask you something though. Like you mentioned, just growing up, right? And you were definitely an athlete, but you got in a lot of different things. You weren't just it wasn't just football, right? It was basketball, track, music, band, marching band, and you drew too. You like to draw. So doing all of this, like, how did you even find time, first of all? But did you get all into these different things because you were just totally interested in them, or were you just totally bored? or
No. Well. In full disclosure, if you're a kid and you grow up in New Orleans, most kids who grow up in New Orleans want to march in the band for Mardi Gras, right?
Really?
So, yeah, you want. I mean, you grew up going to the parades. You had Bacchus and Endymion and Zulu and those, and like you want to be a part of that magic that rocks the crowd and whatever. So that was sort of my impetus early on. I grew up in I'm not gonna say musical family, but my uncle is a musician, a guitarist. My brother is a musician, a singer. The one who lives in LA. I mean, he's like, that's how he makes his. He has a nonprofit organization that he runs, but he also makes his living as a singer. I mean, he's a member of the Delphonics. He's toured with Michael Bolton, with Chuck Berry. He's been on, So I grew up around music. My stepfather.
So singing runs in your family.
My stepfather was a loud singer, so music was always around.
Wow.
Singing runs in your family.
Singing runs. I'm not gonna say runs in my family, but music certainly. I have enough musicians in my family that I can point to.
Go ahead and blow a note. Go ahead. Come on, man.
No.
Put a microphone in my shower. You'll hear. Other than that,
well, you have to record that for us, Sean.
So that was kind of how the music thing started.
Sean, tell us. Yeah. So tell us, I'm especially interested in your mom, a single mom, 4 boys, raising 4 boys. It didn't seem like you guys were bad kids, right? You were pretty good. I guess.
I mean, listen,
okay.
I had one brother, my oldest
there
brother.
There were challenges
because he's a testament to somebody turning their life around. He's done exceedingly well for himself. He's retired now from the school system in Chicago, and like I said, went to college, got his master's, got great career, built a great life in Chicago after making some mistakes early on. My other two brothers, I mean, yeah, for the most part, again, we had our issues, right? I mean, hell, my two brothers burned down the house, right? So that's
Oh, stop.
so
Okay.
I mean, not
Well,
on
let's
purpose,
not.
obviously, but I'm just saying, so yeah, so we had our issues.
Wow.
Okay,
We'll
well,
go through the rest,
we
but
won't go
yeah,
into
but for the most
that.
part, yeah, we for the
But
most part, we were good kids, and try to be good kids, right? For the most part.
good.
Hey, KC, welcome back,
Let's
dear.
let's. Casey's having some technical difficulties there. Sean,
This
let
is
me
what happens
focus.
when you're out of town.
Right. Sean, let me focus on your mom for a little bit here. Again, single mom. Tell us about how she opened up her business.
I mean, I was 3 or 4, so I
The
don't like know
bar.
all the nuts and bolts as far as like what she went through or how she put together. I have no idea. I just remember being a
Right.
kid. My mom had a bar. She had 2 bars, and I remember sitting at the bars when she's prepping to open for the day. And I remember, when at least one of the bars, I remember when they closed down. The scene, I don't really remember when that one started and when it ended. But the Gemini, I remember that one. But yeah, I don't know like the nuts and bolts about how she did it. I was a kid, right? I just,
Right.
I had a bar, and
Yeah.
I remember all the characters that I would meet that as a kid that were like lifelong friends of my mom, from from cops to pimps to everything in the middle.
Oh,
It was
Lord.
we
call those cool cats.
what you can imagine a bar in any major city in the mid-70s, in a rough area of town. You can get to imagine it was that. Like,
Right.
it was it
Wow.
was. So,
Wow.
but I have fond memories of it, because she used to give me sips of cream banana with milk, and
Yeah. I mean,
like,
how amazing!
little-
How amazing, though, for
yeah,
your.
like when the boom boxes first came out, my brother, like because people, you go through in the hood, you go through the barbershop and the bar to sell stuff, right? Like so we would have like whatever cool new hot thing is out,
Right.
Those,
So was it a jukebox? It was a jukebox, right? That they had at the bar. Was it a jukebox?
Oh yeah,
They didn't have DJs, right?
No, I don't.
It's a jukebox.
No.
That's why Sean likes bourbon so much.
No.
Yeah.
Milk, he had bourbon.
Yeah, you had the old school jukebox where you see
Right.
the placards for the songs, and they would flip
Right.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The vinyls would pop up.
And
Oh my
that
God.
was a cool thing though, because some of the cats at the bar when I was a kid, they'd give me money and say, "Hey, you go pick the songs. You
Go pick out a song.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
That was the closest thing to. There was no video games then either, right? So yeah, that was pretty cool.
How cool is that? So is it safe to say, Sean, that as I read in one of your interviews, you stated that some of the first lessons about business, entrepreneurship, and life was just watching your mom. So is it safe to say that your mom was one of your first mentors?
Yeah, and I mean, look at it like that as a kid, right? But I mean,
Yeah.
As I get older and you decide you want to venture out and do something and start a business ground up, those examples help, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Watching somebody, leave a job, start a business, fail in the business, start another business, fail in that business, but okay, well they lived, they still survived, right? They didn't die, right?
Right.
And just go on to continue to build a life another way. So that kind of takes the fear off the table, right? If you've seen that firsthand, like you kind of expect, okay, well that's kind of, if you have an idea or you have a certain skill that may be better suited for something outside of the normal confines of a normal 9 to 5, then okay, well, what you do with that is start a business or launch a product or whatever. So
Right.
that I never had that fear. Like I was never, that wasn't the thing when I decided to start the cigar business. Well, cigar business wasn't the first business I ever started, but even with it, it wasn't like I didn't know anything about it. But it wasn't like, what's the worst that's going to happen? I need some money. I'll live.
Awesome. Yeah.
Little did I know how tough the business was. If it was just money, that's one thing, but it's
Yeah. It's a
yeah.
tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
So Now let's fast forward, and then you get into high school, and you took a lot of drafting courses, right? So where were you going with that?
Well, the earliest thing I remember wanting to be was an architect.
Ah,
And I used to draw a lot. Yeah, I don't remember exactly like when that sort of hit me, but I was just always interested in that.
right.
And in my first sort of like peek into that, it was possible for me is there was a very successful black architect in New Orleans named Paul Devereaux.
Ah,
I remember he designed he designed the very first McDonald's that looked counter to any McDonald's I'd ever seen. It's still there. It's on St. Charles Avenue, right near Louisiana Avenue, right along from my high school. McDonald's at the time were kind of like these one-story joints with the brown roof, with the big footprint. They all look the same, but this one couldn't look like that because it was on St. Charles Avenue. It was a different type of lot, and he built this thing or designed this thing, and it looked like this sort of new age sort of townhome, like a very different, like super modern look for the time. This is going back 36, 37 years. So at the time, it looked like, wow, like it was like I'd never seen a McDonald's. And that was a black architect that had done that. So I was like, wow, okay, so they are black architects. So that was cool. Like my thing. That's kind of what I wanted to do.
Yeah, that's cool. So what kind of stuff did you like to draw?
I mean, I drew everything growing up.
Everything?
Well, take that back. I didn't draw. I would draw people more than anything. People, and I would scale buildings. I didn't draw like flowers or fruit or whatever. But it was really either people or buildings or houses and stuff like that. So
got it.
So cool. Sean, so we had some technical difficulties with KC. KC, welcome back to the show. I'm sure you have a couple questions you want to ask as well. So Arlene, go ahead and ask Sean one more question, and we'll let KC go ahead and dive into.
I think it's KC's up. KC, take it away.
You have some questions you want to talk to Dark and Lovely?
Dark and Lovely, you mean Mr. Most Interesting Man in the Cigar World?
Yeah.
Sean will do just fine, I promise you.
That's Mr. Bonds to you guys.
Sean, you know, we have known each other for years just because of the cigar world. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I think the funnest thing that you and I have had was when you saw me in Chattanooga.
That was wild.
And you were like, what are you doing here? And I told you, like, oh my God, I've been so enamored with you. I had to find out where you were, and I followed you.
Damn.
And the look on your face when I told you that was so funny. And then I was like, motherfucker, I've lived here for a year and a half.
I mean, yeah.
And you didn't know that.
Of course I didn't know that.
You know, and let's give a shout out to the motherfucker we all know, to Cigar Mike. You know, he had instrumented that. But it's, you know, you and I have gone back for, I don't know if it's been 10 years, but it's been some years.
It's been, yeah.
And I know everyone has asked you about, you know, the things that make you, the things that make you Sean, Nola, but talk to us about what made you, when you smoked your first cigar that you really remember smoking in, I think per interviews and past podcasts and what it was circa 2005. You did that. You realized you were not a lightweight. You knew up front you weren't a lightweight, and you were a Maduro fella.
No, that's not true.
Decide that you were going to start the Atlanta Cigar Society. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so first cigar I ever smoked was a Fuente Double Chateau. So it wasn't a Maduro, but I was just instantly taken with it. And once I started smoking, I gravitated to Maduros, and thusly a year later, the very first cigar I ever worked on putting out was a Maduro. But before that, the Atlanta Cigar Society really just came about as a way for me to meet other cigar smokers, because I didn't know any at the time. At least I didn't know if I knew. I had a mortgage business at the time, and real estate development company. So I had a network of business associates, but I didn't know if any of them went to cigars. I didn't know, and I didn't know how active and rich the Atlanta cigar community was at the time. And so for me, it was like, well, myself and my buddy Israel, he owns a cigar bar Atlanta here, a couple of locations. So he went in a different direction. But he and I started Atlanta Cigar Society. And for me, it was just a way to network and get around other cigar smokers. That's really how I looked at it. And oh, by the way, do some business networking. So that was really it. It was just a way for me to meet other people who smoke cigars. I didn't think about it any more than that. And then over time, as I got more into it, that's when I started thinking about having a cigar brand, like as a private label for my events within ACS. So that's kind of how it started.
So when you did that, what kind of events did you do? Like, we know Atlanta is kind of a premier spot now for cigar smokers in general, but black cigar smokers specifically. But when you did Atlanta Cigar Society, what kind of events did you do? What made you go from where you were, kind of like, tell us about the trajectory.
Well, it wasn't. There was one big event I did that really kind of connected major dots to get me to Nicaragua. But leading up, and I was at Atlanta Smokeout 2005, which was a big event I did in November 2005, and I had sponsorship: Carl Black Hummer, Hennessy, Cognac, real estate company. So it was a pretty big event for at least what I was doing. But prior to that, I mean, I would do like poker nights at the East Side Lounge over in East Atlanta Village. I would do wine tastings down at Cosmos and East Point. So, and those are ongoing things, pretty regular basis. I would do those things, and I would find sort of similar activities. Like East Side Lounge had poker night every Tuesday night. They did it. That was something that was pre-existing. East Side Lounge is a place I like to go because they were actually cigar friendly. So I was like, hey, why don't Atlanta Cigar Society partner and we can help promote the poker night, whatever. So that's kind of how that started with them. Cosmos, again, was another place I frequented, had this incredible wine selection, of which, and I wasn't as heavy into wines then. I'm still not super heavy into wines, but I know about wines now. But then I didn't really understand that if you cracked a bottle of red wine, you had to drink it that night. So you'd see the staff at Cosmos at the end of the night just trying to down all this wine that they opened up during the day. So I'm like, that's crazy, right? So I was like, okay, well, we'll do cigar events, like help, kind of work through some of this wine. So that's kind of how that started. And those are the things I did on a regular basis. And I did more than that. I mean, I actually had a bit of, I'm not going to say retail side, but a little bit in that I actually had a wholesale business where I would order tabletop humidors, we'd stock them. We had one at a restaurant bar off Virginia Ave. We had a nice setup with Rolls Royce of Atlanta. Reg Williams was the guy there. We had an Atlanta Cigar Society humidor in there. So I was just kind of figuring things out. Just wherever I could activate around cigars, I was doing. I wasn't really thinking build this or build that. But along the way is where I'm thinking about having my own cigar brand. And leading up to the big event in November 2005 is where I really started reaching out for cigar companies to sponsor that event, and that got me in contact with a lot more people. So that once I ended up going to the Big Smoke in late November 2005, that was the meeting there that I actually solidified. Hey, I'm going to Nicaragua in January 2006, which was 6 weeks or so after the Big Smoke. So it was just these series of events. I won't even pretend that they were well thought out, because nobody could have told me that, once I started Atlanta Cigar Society, that less than a year later I would be actually trying to make a cigar. That was not the plan, and I don't recommend that to anybody, by the way.
So when you thought you were stepping your pinky toe into the business, you didn't realize you were jumping head first into a shallow pond.
And I had no idea that I'd be doing cigars full time, exclusively. Like that was never in the plan.
So let's rewind a little bit, because we're talking about Sean. Like, we know about Sean and Cohiba and all of those things. But Arlene, Louie, and I have been chit chatting in the background. And what made you who you are today? So we know about your mom. We know about the New Orleans. We kind of know about that background that gives you all this flavor. But you were in the band. You played football.
Mhm.
You know, if we were to go by stereotypes, I would pick you for like a trumpet player, a saxophonist. And I found out you played the tuba,
Yep.
the
And I,
tuba.
and I played it exceedingly well. I
Oh,
was
exceedingly well.
I was section leader by seventh grade. Yes,
Okay.
I was a very accomplished bass horn player.
And
Tuba.
so,
Yes.
aside from your musician skills, you were also a very gifted athlete, correct?
I won't say gifted.
We're not talking about what you think, but based on other people's opinions.
I ended up being a very well decorated athlete.
Okay, a decorated athlete. Okay, Mr. Varsity Sport. So you sat down, you figured out where you were going to college, and you ended up signing with Grambling, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And so you ended up with one of the most like historic coaches ever in Edu, correct?
Eddie Robinson. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So tell us about that experience when you signed those papers and said, I'm going to be an athlete under this man. And we know now how the kiddos sit at the table. It's these big signing days. I'm going D1, whatever it is that they're doing. We know how big of a deal it is. But based on our age group, we're going to go backwards a little bit. How did you feel? What was the thought when you decided to sign with Grambling?
Honestly, I kind of knew it when I had dinner with him.
Wait, dinner? Tell us about that.
So this Bayou Classic. This would have been November of '87. So I graduated '88, right? So I guess that would have been whatever the Bayou Classic was, my senior year of high school. One of my high school coaches had played football at Grambling, so he had obviously, it was home team for him. So he plugged them in with me, and we would communicate back and forth. They had a bunch of other colleges recruiting me, different states, some bigger, so whatever. So, but through Coach Levine, I mean, he played at Grambling. He played there and played pro football, and still had a lot of love for it. So that kind of just like that kind of intrigued me early on. That this guy just had this, because I hadn't experienced. I never played at college level, and I went to a couple of different high schools. Loved the high schools at, but he bled black and gold. I was kind of infectious. He was always talking about what it was like there and whatever. And they started recruiting me. He put me on their radar, and so it was going to be maybe Tulane, University of Washington was recruiting me, Louisiana Tech. There's a number of different schools, and my girlfriend at the time, and we went to the Bayou Classic. Took the bus out to the game. Had good seats, saw the Bayou Classic. Then I got on the bus, went all the way back uptown to bring her home. Then I got back on the bus to come back downtown to have dinner after the game with Coach Rob. And I remember going in and meeting Coach Sterling, rest his soul. He was 6'8", called him Big Cat, and he was a defensive line coach. Had played there for years. He was Everson Walls' uncle. So to me, that's like, it's Everson Walls' uncle. He had played, Coach Sterling had played in the NFL too as well for the Cowboys and a couple other teams. So it's just like this family thing that like once you played at Grambling, it's just a different connection. So I was just kind of just enamored with that, meeting him. I mean, I never met anybody in person that big, and it's like, this is going to be my coach. And he was like, because I was a defensive lineman, he was like, I'm 6'6", and I'm looking up at this big dude, like, so that was impressive. And then once I sat down and have dinner with the old man, I mean, he's a black dude from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. but he had these still gray blue eyes that just kind of pierced through you, right? You know, and he just had like this way about him, like this thing, like it's kind of hard to explain, like you know, at 17 it was just like oh, like this the guy, like, you know, Harry Belafonte played this dude in the movie, right? Like that, like, you know, it's like really like just you just kind of impressed with it. And he had this way he talked to you, and he had this he had this weird thing about him, right? Like, and I remember when we played games, right? Like, I'm trying to think of the first game that we lost. I think it might have been Howard, maybe the third game of the season, my freshman year. But we lost this game, and I remember, you know, high school coach, great man, rest his soul, nothing against it. But I remember what losing a game at that level was like versus losing with Coach Rob. Like, we lost this game, and I'm thinking, man, he's about to tear us another asshole. He's going to beat us down, blah, blah, blah. And he was the most empathetic, and patient, and sort of endearing messenger after you lost a game. It was like this weird little Jedi mind trick he did on you, right? Like, you know, he just knew that okay, you have to shake this off. We got to move on. He had a way of kind of getting you through that. Versus if we won a game, you know, but we won it sloppily, or we were making mistakes or whatever. Like, there's a way he was fired up. So it was just these weird things that I learned from him, and I should probably learn to practice that kind of patience now that I don't think about it. But,
Sean, we all need to learn how to practice that kind of patience. Yeah. So, I mean, again, the world, at least the U.S., right? We don't care about the rest of the world, but
we should.
Coast to coast, we all understand, for the most part, if you are intuitive to HBCUs and Black history, and, you know, this is February, this is Black History Month. So what would you say is the biggest lesson you learned from Coach Robinson? Because this is a man, for a lot of us, I went to a PWI, and the fellas that I know that played football at the PWI, you know, they learned, they played, they're friends to this day, etc. But what would you say you learned from that coach? Like, we know the level of, I guess, you know, your mother is your mom, but you learn so much from her. But now you have this coach, and I only played through high school before I injured myself. So when I went to college, I just managed a basketball squad, and then I coached. But our coaches, you know, they're like an additional parent in our life. And what would you say is the biggest lesson that you learned from Coach Robinson?
It's something I fall woefully short of, but just having commitment and character, like this. He used to ask you these type questions. I remember him asking us a question, you know, and this is before red light cameras and drones and all this stuff that monitors our movement. It says, if you stop at a red light at 3 a.m. in the morning and there's nobody around, do you sit at that red light? I'm thinking to myself, hell no. But he would sit like it's what you do when nobody's around. Like you know, and he lived that. Like, he wasn't perfect either, but I mean, I saw his commitment. Like, this dude was 70 plus years old, and he still came around every morning, door to door, waking everybody up to go to class. He had graduate assistants, he had assistant coaches, he had whatever. Like you know. But he did it personally, because to him it was like he made a commitment to your parents when you went there that he was going to do everything he can to make sure your son graduates. So he took it personally. To him, it was a character issue and a commitment issue, and he went above and beyond, doing things that he didn't necessarily have to do, and took no shortcuts. You know, and again, I fall woefully short of that, but it's still like it's something that you strive for, right? At least I do, you know.
Well, you say you fall woefully short of that, but you have girls, right? In terms of children, how old are they?
Oh, my oldest daughter is 30. Wait, what is this? What is 2022? She's 31 years old.
Okay, and how old is your baby?
13.
Okay, so you learned some serious character lessons along the years, correct?
Yeah.
And as a grown man, like I think that being of similar age, we can all relate to the people that we feel were just full of character and morality and integrity. But what do you think you've passed along to your children based on what you've learned?
So the same thing. I mean, like, listen. You make commitments, you got to stick to commitments. Your word is your word, right? There are no shortcuts. And this world doesn't owe you shit. Like don't this sense of entitlement now that a lot of kids have, nah, you the life will kick you in the teeth if you walk out here thinking that just because you show up, you're supposed to get a medal, right? So if nothing else, my kids see examples of hard work. Um, um, you know, I am like, especially having girls, probably just like brutally honest in my dialogue, right? You know, like there's no question off limits. There's no, and I try to make sure that you can't just. I don't know we're gonna be talking about parenting, it's like it was different when we were coming up. Like somebody, adult told you something, you say, well, why? And it's like, because I said so, right? I there's a little bit of that, but also I'm not just telling you something because I'm like brilliant or I'm some oracle or some sage. I'm telling you something because I've walked through this landmine. I've gotten a leg blown off. Like I'm trying to tell you, let's. So I try to just be transparent and be real about who I am and my flaws and the mistakes I've made, and hopefully, they see it comes from an honest place, and they try to navigate around some of the pitfalls that I had. That's I don't know if there's a book on it, but that's how I try to do it.
Well, and that's a beautiful thing. So again, you talk about size, character, morality, like that you're a man of a certain stature. You talk about Coach Eddie, who was of a bigger stature than you were. Now,
Coach Sterling,
I always say that like my male friends, I'm like, oh, you get to look like your demons in the face because now you have all girls. Now your girls are from what age? 30 something to 13?
Yeah.
So do you think you've prepared them for life, men, etc.? I mean, again, the 13-year-old is a little different, right?
Not.
She's 13. She's still a baby girl.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Come on, I'm doing my best, man. I'm not even pretend like I wrote the book on how to raise kids. And listen, I'm doing my level best. That's it. I'm not even going to.
That's all we can do.
I'm doing my best.
Do you feel as a dad? Do you feel as if you're paying for your sins in your younger years?
No, I don't believe in that. I mean, because there's not enough retribution out there that can exact revenge on, like, because I certainly don't walk in that spirit. It's like, with anything, it's like, okay, deal with it. Whatever the mistake is, own it up and move on. I don't think my kids. I've never carried that around. Yeah.
Well, but that's a beautiful thing, Sean, because it sounds that, like, regardless of decisions and whatever you feel are your mistakes that you made growing up, you lead with integrity. And that's a beautiful thing. And I bring it all back to, like, it's Black history. It's like the month of Black men, etc. It sounds as if you are setting your children up, your daughters, your young ladies, 13 to 30, that you are setting them up to succeed. and that's based on all of your experiences.
Yeah,
And
no,
that's a beautiful thing. That's
you know,
part of being. That's not a
ultimately,
father.
man,
That's not a father, Sean. That's being a daddy.
listen, I hope. Ultimately, it's on them though, and that's the conversation to have. Like what is someone's measure of success? I can't
Louis,
define
you bet Louis, I see you nodding your head. We already know those little girls growing or 13, they got Sean wrapped around their finger.
Oh, I'm not tripping on that. Like,
No, I've seen Sean is an amazing
my
dad.
30-year-old.
Let me say this. Let me say this.
That's not the issue.
As a dad of one daughter, you know,
One.
they all want to be daddy's girls or what have you, and I get that. Normally, when they turn 13, they lose their rabbit ass mind. Sean,
Yes.
but I can say this though. I can say this though. At the end of the day, I think Sean would want his daughters to meet somebody like him coming up.
That's
At
right.
the end of the day,
I can't say that.
he wants to meet somebody like him. I think he emulates what that should be. I think they see that in his relationship, you know, with his spouse as to what they should, you know, eventually want in life. You know, with all the bullshit, because we know a lot of dudes out there in Atlanta is nickel slick, as my grandma used to say.
Wait, what was that word? What was that? What was that phrase, Michael?
Huh? Nickel
What did
slick.
you say?
Nickel slick. Hey, look, my granny's from Virginia, little Southern girl. So even though I was raised in California, we went to Virginia damn near every damn summer, and I got a dose. I got some infusion of some.
Right, you're a Southern man at heart.
Believe that. So you know, but like I said, Sean, your upbringing, man, and I get it. Your mom, your brothers kept you in check. You know, I don't know if you're the biggest out of all four of y'all, but
I am.
If not, then you know you definitely had the fear. You weren't in New Orleans, so you couldn't get any more switches and shit. So you know, they definitely kept you in line. But like I said, as far as his daughters go, I'm sure that at the end of the day, what he shows them in his household, you know, when these cameras are off, when he's not on the road, you know, who he is. But one of the things I just want to say, because Arlene has some questions for you, and we don't want to take too much more of your time.
Yeah.
But I know that at any given time, especially when Louie and I were there in LA, and I would call Sean about some advice or what have you, even though he's younger than me or whatever, it doesn't matter. He was there for me. He'd have conversations. I'd be walking up and down Figueroa. Now, when we lived in LA, I lived like 7 blocks from damn Staples. I walked my ass all the way down to Staples and back talking to Sean, him giving me advice, giving me some direction, and he's always done that. He's always been there, dude. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate that. And if you're doing it for me,
say less, man.
As a stranger, not in your life on a regular basis, I know you're doing it for your daughters, man. And I mean, I do, you know, holding it down.
If they take it.
Yeah. But you know what? As a daddy's little girl, hearing those words from you, Michael, and from you, Sean, I appreciate that. Now, I know, like, I'm gonna lead into Arlene's questions.
Well, before you start, Casey, I know we're leading to an hour already, and I know, Sean, I told you an hour. Are you?
We're good.
For a little longer.
We're good.
The ladies have so many other questions that they want to ask.
Smoking, so we're good.
Okay, we're good then.
But let's wait.
Louis, he said his cigar. Louis, he said his cigar ain't done yet. He got time.
I got one more question for Sean, and I want you to think about before we get to the fun part of it. You know, you said that no question is basically, what did you say? How did you word it? Not left off the table. Whatever you said it. No question. You know, you couldn't ask. So you know. You obviously, man, have elements. And by the way, Sean, happy anniversary. I know May the 1st is coming up.
5 years.
Oh, yeah.
Kudos on that.
Thank you.
If you want to know what the next 5 years consist of, you know, and you might not answer it now, but to me, that defines being successful. To me, if one defines success and they define the truth in success, define Sean Williams' highest expression of yourself.
Yeah, I don't know.
See, Michael, you going too deep.
No.
Yeah, I can't.
You know, because social media I mean, it's just like, in Cohiba, you have a different life, as you know, that you're the most interesting man out there traveling, doing everything that Cohiba has you doing, riding horses, polo, everything.
The most interesting man in cigars, almost
Exactly.
like the man with no name from Dos Equis.
Yes. So who is Sean? I think that's the question that Michael is asking. Who is Sean? Who is Sean? And as far as expression of yourself, I mean, you know,
I don't know about an expression of myself. I'm like, who is Sean? Like, do I know who I am? Like, I don't like.
it's a tough
um,
one.
yeah, no. So at the center of everything that I do, and I don't. It's not corny. It's not whatever. It's like I think about like and maybe it's just as I get older. I think about legacy more than anything. I think about you know money. You need money, right? You need money. You need money, right? But there was a time where a lot of my decisions were motivated by money, the need for money. Um, my decisions now are more motivated by legacy and my family. Like you know what platform am I building for my family now and after I'm gone. I think about that probably more than anything. I am again. I think a lot of things come with age, maybe, but I am keenly self-aware. There are a lot of times where years ago where you would at least me I would make excuses for flaws. Um, Now it's like you recognize those things and try to tighten the screws and to me I had this simple sort of way I look at just life. And this goes for not just people, but a person or any living organism. If it's not growing and improving in some way, then it's dying. So for me, I'm always looking to improve and grow. That's and if I'm ever not doing that in whatever in particular in cigars, which is obviously the field that's center to my professional existence. If I'm not doing that, then why am I doing it, right? So for me, it's just about um, I like to think I define myself by trying to just get better in every facet that I can every day. And it may sound corny, it may sound whatever. And I'm not saying I do that every day, but it's like, like if you're not trying to get better and grow, what's the point? Yeah. It's that simple. If something is not improving and growing in some way, then it's going the opposite way.
Well, I take my hat, literally, I'm going to take my hat off to you, dude, because you shared something with me a long time ago, and Cohiba probably would have fired me because yeah. They would.
Cheers to you, Sean.
Sean told me a long time
Cheers
ago.
to you,
He said to me, he said, "Man, he has to remember who he represents when he goes to the gas station. You know what I mean? It's like
Baby.
that Superman cape can never come off because everywhere
it's not a Superman. It's
he's
not
a
even that.
representation.
It's not that. It's one thing. When I was with El Primer Mundo, it was I was the guy. So
Yeah.
but if I agree that I want to be the guy for Cohiba, and it's not about whatever. It's like, okay, I don't have to agree to certain things, but if I want to do what I'm doing now and have an effect longer term, then somebody cuts me a check every 2 weeks. You can't.
That paycheck fairy.
People like say, "Oh, it's a free country. You can do blah, blah, blah." All that sounds good. If that's the way you feel, then go out and do your own thing, right?
Right.
There's certain things that I'm not going to let slide and not let pass. But at the same time, I understand that this is big. This is bigger than me. This is bigger than me. I made an agreement with an organization to represent their brand in a certain way, and I'm going to do what I can to do that.
Right.
Amen.
And that's
Amen.
Sean.
Today, and I agree. Amen.
Amen to
Sean,
that.
that is a beautiful thing. And we know, a lot of cigar smokers see you as that dude. And to use Arlene's words, that motherfucker that represents Cohiba, right? Right, Arlene?
Right.
Why you gotta be a motherfucker?
But that's the reality,
What's your
right?
favorite word?
No.
But in this group, we are blessed to, like, we've all had some knowledge and experience and at least a basic relationship with Sean prior to Cohiba. But the general cigar world knows Sean from his cigar brand to Cohiba. So Sean, tell us, what three words?
We're going into the fun stuff now, Sean.
Yes.
So get your thinking caps on.
No, with Arlene,
Be
we don't
fast and witty.
We don't, right, fast and witty. We don't even want thinking caps. We want fast and witty.
Yeah.
What 3 words would you use, Sean, to describe yourself?
That's easy.
What's the word?
3 words.
Uncomfortable? No.
Tall, dark, and handsome, you can't say. So you can't use that shit.
Those are your 3
But that's
words.
obvious.
Those are your 3 words for yourself. Empathetic. I like to think. I like to think that I care about not just other people's feelings, but kind of other people's positions. How they bring, what perspective they bring to any certain situations. I think that's important.
Okay, that's 1.
Yeah, empathetic, passionate. Unfortunately, if I decide to do anything, like I'm all in.
So empathetic, passionate, and all in.
Committed. Yeah.
There you go. Committed.
Okay, my turn.
Oh shit.
This is easy.
I would add humble.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that, Louis?
humility.
I would add
Oh shit.
humble.
Hey Sean, sit back, man.
He is one of the most humble people I have ever met.
Well, you call it being humble. I call it being grateful. So
Grateful.
Look, Beyonce got different words for humble, but anyway.
Sean, look, thank you so much. You have shared with us the Sean growing up, the Sean, previous to cigar world. So I appreciate and I'm grateful for you sharing that piece of your life with us. So my fun questions is, this is easy and fun. What's the best book or article that you've read in the past year or recently?
The past year.
Or just recently?
Well, I have 2 books that I have to read, and I haven't started yet. And full disclosure. So, Dream Boogie.
Wait, repeat that.
Dream Boogie. Sam Cooke's biography, and also I literally just got a little over a week ago Sidney Poitier's biography, spiritual biography. So I'm looking forward to reading that one. I haven't read a book.
So that's going to be on your bucket list to read, right?
Well, I have them. I just yeah. So I typically, I had been. I would read over the years. I would read like as I'm traveling. I read this one book. I don't. It's not politically correct.
So for our listeners,
you don't want to share with us?
Our listeners know then if they've read the book, they can grill him on it in the next week or 2, because if he's traveling, he's
the next month or 2.
It by now.
I'm not a speed reader. Like I'll read. It takes me a while. I'm trying to think of an article. Like, have I had
all right.
Article? But go ahead. I'll think about that. Go. What's the next?
Okay, one? Think about that. I'm going to do one more, Casey, and then I'm going to give it to you back to
Mm-hmm.
you. So if you can only have one app on your phone, what would it be? One app.
One app?
One app. That's it.
1, 2, 3, but one.
One app.
Are we talking like a communications app or like an entertainment app? Like
Yeah, anything
Whatever,
that's on your cell phone.
whatever is
What
important.
app?
Sean.
Anything app. Whatever
You know
app
what
you
he's doing, Arlene? He's stalling and shit, trying to think.
yeah.
Anything.
is FaceTime an app? Is FaceTime an app?
Well, I guess that's an app, huh?
Well,
FaceTime?
why? Okay, why is that important
Okay,
to you,
yeah.
Sean?
Because I get to talk to my wife and my daughter, and
You get to
people,
see them.
Right, yeah, you get
Okay.
it's like
Okay.
a phone call with video. So
Yeah.
I guess I've had to keep one thing.
I like that. I like
Okay,
You get a
okay.
lot of conversation.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
because we didn't
now-
have that back
now-
in the days. Go
now
ahead,
I'm
Casey.
gonna one up Arlene. What's the most embarrassing text or email you've ever sent?
Would I answer that on this thing? Is that
Embarrassing text
Okay,
or email.
what-
that
okay,
you've sent.
okay. Let me rephrase the question. What's the most embarrassing or text you've ever sent that you're willing to share with us?
There you go.
I-
How did you clean it up? That's the question.
there-
That's the question.
yeah, I'd really have to think on that. Because
You need
Lord, we gonna
to
have to
think
come
on
back to
that,
these
Sean.
questions.
That's not an answer.
We go.
You need to,
that's the
Sean.
answer you're gonna get.
Lord.
Sean, you need to think on that because Arlene gonna come back at the end of this and clean it all up. So be ready.
Come back to the cows come home.
But I'm gonna be nice to you. So we all know who we are morally, internally, etc. What would you say is your spirit animal and why?
We know Arlene, so
Arlene got like 5. Arlene is
I got all kinds of
Arlene is
different ones.
bipolar with it.
It's
oh
just,
god.
I guess my spirit animal, I hate to say dog, but probably a dog. And that dogs are really loyal, they're affectionate, they're empathetic, and they're intuitive. But every now and then, they're going to shit in the house.
and bite you.
Every now and then,
They're
they're
gonna
going to
bite you.
shit in the house.
They might.
Like, there's going to be something you're going to come home, there's something they shouldn't have done that they didn't messed up or they didn't whatever.
Wait. And they gonna
What
sit
kind of
down.
dog?
Look,
Hey.
Sean,
What
and they
kind
gonna
of
sit
dog?
down, wag their tail, and just be happy. Like
And I mean, and this is I just said our dog went away to the kennel. This is week before last because of travel, and he picked up a bug, and he was just shit I'm like, he's houseboys or whatever, and it was like doesn't matter how many times we let him out, he just had a stomach bug, right? And I couldn't be mad at him.
oh baby.
Hey man, what kind of dog, Sean?
He's a
No, not him. You.
oh. I don't know, man. Like something big, like an English Mastiff or something. I don't know.
Ah, master.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
because
a
you
big
see you. Okay, look, I'm gonna say you see Arlene and Louie with their little like 4'5.5" selves.
No,
You know
she
those
didn't
two.
4'5".
4'11"
4'11"
and 3/4.
4'11" and 3/4.
I'm 4'11.
Okay, I'm sorry. Just a smidge under 5 foot. Let's go with that. You know those two. You know those two women would consider themselves like King Corsos. So, what kind of dog, Sean, would you be?
Cane Corsos. I'd be something in the Mastiff family, and I love
like the
Cane Corsos.
Mastiffs.
I had a couple of Cane Corsos, so those are great.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Oh my
See,
God, those are
because
beautiful
I
dogs.
feel like I'm a Saint Bernard. I'm cute. I'm fluffy. I'm a love on you. But let there be 3 flights of stairs. I'm gonna fall down those motherfuckers. What now?
No.
Hey, just me.
I'd probably be
Okay.
English Mastiff. They're big. They're imposing. Have a pretty good temperament, but you're not going to mess with them.
Right.
Okay. So they have all laughed at me because in our conversations about Sean Williams, ambassador of Cohiba, Mr. General Cigars, etc., I personally have deemed you the most interesting man in cigars, as in like the man that does the Dos Equis commercials, because you have done what you you jumped out of airplanes, correct?
He's done everything.
I've never jumped out. I don't see any point of jumping out of a perfectly optimal plane.
Me too.
Okay, so I'm mistaken there. but you've done a lot of things that people don't expect, quote unquote, a black man to do. And so,
really?
wait. What did you say? What did you say, Michael?
That horse he sat on that he was riding, that horse.
Oh, that horse.
That was
yes.
a draft horse. That's kind of like a Clydesdale. It was the biggest.
Yes,
it was a
so
huge horse.
Sean's so goddamn big. He had to ride on a fucking Clydesdale. Fucking normal. Now,
He was a draft horse.
Wait a second. For the viewers, because right now most women have gotten their panties in a bunch over like Method Man, who has aged, I can't even say beyond gracefully. That man has aged well and is doing Essence covers. You are the cigar world version of that. Now, be humble as you may.
Yeah, you look kind of swole, bro.
Can we, is that a question?
No. Listen to me, Sean. Listen to me, boo.
Oh my God.
You now.
Listen to her, boo. Listen to her, boo.
Now, you have done a lot of things that I don't know, the general expectation of black folks. You've done things that we don't do, which is beautiful. Because I'm a fan of it. I've had sister friends that have drank cobra blood, wrestled alligators, ran with the bulls, etc. So knowing all of that, and we all, whether it's written down or just in our minds, we have a bucket list. So what is on your bucket list that you have not done that we would just not have it? We would just not expect to be on Sean Williams' bucket list.
My bucket list really centers around travel. Like I've never been to the continent of Africa, never been to Greece.
You've never been to Greece?
Never been to Greece. Never been to Greece. So my bucket list really centers around travel. Like I want to touch all 7 continents. You know.
Okay, but that's cute. That's real cute. Like I want to go all 7 continents. I want to touch a penguin, all of that. But what specifically, Louis, quit, Louis.
What are you drinking, Case?
Girl,
I've been Arlene, and you know,
she was at brunch too long.
So
what specifically?
I don't have any like thrill seeking thing to like. I'm not playing coy. Like I really don't.
But if you touch down in Africa or Greece or wherever it is, what specifically is something that Sean is like, I need to do that right there. I need that right now in my life. What's on your bucket list? To say 7 continents, that's nice. But what specifically is on your list to accomplish?
I mean, so obviously, you know, I'd like to just sort of take in the sites at Mykonos or Santorini or visit the Parthenon and stuff like that. Africa, it kind of depends on where I'm at, right? Yeah. Like I don't have any interest to do a safari. I don't want to do that, like at all. Period.
You don't want to see. Wait. You don't want to put the giraffes at breakfast?
Not really.
On an elephant.
Oh Lord.
I say that, but
Hey, you know what?
Oh,
I want to parlay on that.
Michael, you take this. Ask him, black man or black man.
So, Sean, when you guys come up with these different events that you're involved with, whether it be Sundance or skiing or polo or horseback riding or driving fancy fucking cars and all that shit.
Yeah.
You know, who comes up with these concepts that what Sean's going to do?
Yeah. What's next?
So that stuff is driven from the other brands that we're partnered with a lot of times. It's not like it's what they're doing, right? Like their Sundance is Sundance. Like that's what with or without a Sundance is Sundance, right? So for me, it's like I wanted to learn to ski, right? I never skied, so I was like, well, I'm going to be at like one of the best ski destinations in the country. So I'm going.
You never skied, Sean?
Oh, he did it now.
Oh no, he looked good in his ski outfit though.
Well,
stop it, Louis! Stop it!
I hadn't skied up until I don't know, whenever the first time I went to Sundance. So but going down there, I went to ski. So I literally went on YouTube like, okay, how do you like it?
He had his goggles. He had it all.
But now
He was like, wait, let me get the Louis Vuitton of ski outfits.
I don't do all that. But I enjoy skiing. I mean, we're gonna go skiing 2 weeks now, the family. You know, so
Sean,
I
you get the golf game on point.
Years ago.
I love skiing.
So it's really the you know, and a lot of stuff I do is through Rob Report magazine, which we have that's our big media partner. So, and they do a bunch of different things that I just I'm fortunate enough to be involved in. You know,
so Sean, how's your golf game now, man?
Listen, you can't play golf once a year and be good, man.
See, y'all talking about normal stuff. He still has not answered that one thing that's on his bucket list.
The embarrassing text or email.
Wait. Sean,
what do you want him to do, Case? What do you want him to do?
There's nothing I enjoy more.
I've been drinking too much, Louis. You don't want me to answer that.
There's nothing I enjoy more than just experiencing like the culture. Like if I take a trip somewhere, like I want to see the history of the place. I want to do tours. I want to eat local food. So if I go to South Africa, like I want to go to Durban and just eat. I want to see the beaches there. I want to go to Robben Island, right? And
okay.
Wait.
Casey, be quiet for a minute, Casey. Okay, hold on. Food. Last time you talked to us, Sean, you said you were a foodie. You like food. So this is going to be an easy question. What's your go-to food?
Food.
What's your go-to? What's your...
Arlene, did you not see what he ate when he went abroad just recently?
He was eating
She's not asking you, Michael.
He was eating a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Sean. Tell us.
My favorite food is seafood is probably my favorite, but I mean if I'm eating like on a regular basis, more seafood and chicken. I love a great steak, but one thing I never do, I never cook a steak at home. If I'm having a steak, I want it in an exceptional, well-rated steakhouse, white tablecloth, the whole deal. Like I like to experience the steakhouse experience. I never make steaks.
Oh, I like that.
Arlene. So he's saying he needs that Tampa experience. He needs that Donatello's experience.
Mm-hmm.
So my go-to food is probably seafood. I mean, seafood. And that's probably just growing up in New Orleans. Like I love. Now, unfortunately, my seafood is usually fried. So I mean, but I just.
Okay, so experiences and bucket lists. I'm going to South Africa, Sean. One of my goals is to
shark dive.
You already know. To cage dive amongst the great whites. Are you going to be in the cage? Hold up. Are you going to be in the cage with me, or are you going to be on the boat like, hey, yo, I got some drinks for you, friend?
Hey, Casey.
I won't even be on the boat.
It would probably be safer for Sean to be outside of the cage with the sharks than to be in the cage with you.
No. I'm not talking about me, but I'm saying, Sean, based on your bucket list, would you be in the cave? Would you be in the cage? Would you be in the cage to experience the great whites, or would you be on the boat with the video camera like, hey, I got you?
Lord.
I'd be there handing you a drink when you got out, taking the pictures. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Casey, I got a question for you.
She don't need anymore.
You're a bartender.
I am. That's 20 years ago, but that was the side hustle.
You're a bartender. If you had to come up with a drink that depicts Sean, what would that be?
If I had to come up with a drink that depicts Sean, the Sean that I know,
that's a
which Sean do you know?
Wait, what?
What Sean do you know?
I know the Sean that everybody else knows. So
okay.
So the Sean that I know, it would be.
What would it taste like?
It would be. Hold up.
What are you doing?
Okay.
It would be.
That's just nasty.
Okay, somebody said last call for KC. Scully said
Yeah,
last call
okay.
for KC.
That's, oh Lord.
It would be something. It would be something like a spiced rum with some extra spice to it, but like a smoothed out fruity flavor at the
Nah,
end. So
no fruity flavor
if
in
I were
Sean's drink.
if I were going to create a drink, I would say in the minds of people that don't know cocktails or what have you, similar to a like a not even a Long Island,
I sure hope not.
but something that's like a spiced rum. So it's got that kick. It's got a little jalapeno or something in it, and then it just smooths the fuck out.
Skip
Sean, how
says,
you drinking?
Skip says I'm dead.
I'm not drinking anything but water right now. So
Louis?
there you go, Michael.
Bourbon.
Louis?
There you go.
He's definitely a well-aged bourbon.
Right. I'm not going to give the man Boone's Farm or
I
Cisco.
mean, that's
Okay. So,
he's
Louis,
like a 21-year-old.
But look,
good shit.
don't let Sean play you. He's of a certain age. That man has drank his bottles of Boone's Farm and Cisco.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong
He
with
has
that.
done that.
But he's
Actually,
out
never.
But
drunk.
he left that
Actually-
behind him.
He
Louis.
is
Never.
aged
Not
well.
those. Not
Louis,
those.
same question.
There were some college days to spin the bottle that involved MD 2020, but I was.
Ooh,
19.
that mad dog.
Yeah.
Louis,
Never had
same
Boone's
question.
Farm with Cisco.
I
Never.
got drunk off of Boone's Farm. When I was
Louis, same question.
Louis, you're 4'2". You're allowed to get drunk off.
You know
Boone's
what?
Farm.
She's
4'11".
Right. You
Louis.
took 3 inches off from your last comment.
Louis, same question.
What question, Michael?
If you were a bartender and you was making a drink about Sean, what would that be?
Sean is an aged bourbon, just like Arlene said. Nicely smooth aged. That's it.
Mm.
I don't have any
I'm gonna give him a little bit of
extra
spice.
flavor, huh?
How we know
I'm
Sean
gonna give him
now.
a little bit of spice. He gonna get a little jalapeno or something up in there.
She
Move
just
along. Next
gonna
question. Come
she
on
gonna
now.
force it upon you, Sean. Just take it.
Right. Take that.
Just
Take.
Just
All right.
say,
All right,
okay.
So I got another question for you.
Daisy.
Now we know college. We know college. We know Mr. Tuba player. We know Mr. Debonair. What you have the musicality. You love music, correct?
I need more. I need
Okay.
more.
So
I need more.
Oh, we drink it? Okay. Well,
we got to drink to Sean. Today.
I drank all
We
mine.
cheer into the next question of KC.
all right. So we know you've got a little bit of DJ ability. We have heard about this. So what is your guilty music pleasure that nobody would suspect?
Oh, damn.
Huh.
Huh.
We're not talking about singing your favorite song in the shower and shit.
Hold on. I got to go get another drink. I'll be right back.
Maybe like I'm not a country music guy, but I like some new country.
Like wait. No. But we're not talking about excuses, and I like a little bit of Carrie Underwood or Nas X. But what is your guilty pleasure?
Is it that Snoop Dogg
I don't
country
know.
music?
Are you like
Sherry, Low Cash? You know, like yeah. So
wait, but the guilty pleasure, are you like, I like a little bit of 80s pop, or I like this or that. I like
you clearly have not been on my nightcap. Yeah, no, that's not an unknown thing. Like,
oh, you weren't on the nightcap.
He's old school.
I have done full shows
yeah.
on walking people through decades of all kinds of music. So that's hard, like to even
right, but that's normal. What I'm saying is, what is your guilty pleasure that most people do not know? Are you like in the shower like Madonna, like a virgin? Like,
absolutely.
What is your guilty pleasure?
I'm telling you, like there's no guilty pleasure. Like I did a nightcap over a year, and if you heard, like I've done a show that went from Frank Sinatra to Michael Jackson to to
Everything.
Cream to now Rod's like so there's anybody who knows me knows like there's no music that's really off limits. There's certain music that I like that people surprise I like, which is typically like country. I love a lot of classic rock, but that's not a guilty thing. That's like I don't think that's an unknown thing. I mean,
Okay.
the only thing like maybe that I rock out with that I don't do a lot in public is like old school, gangster rap. And I'm not talking about the new trap music shit. That's bullshit. I'm talking, when we had clear delineations in rap, where you had gangster rap, you had conscious, you had ego, you had party rap. Like if I'm listening to some old Ghetto Boys or NWA, like that stuff. Like okay, if I'm doing that, like I'm by myself.
Like NWA.
Is it safe to say then, Sean, that you're looking forward to the Super Bowl halftime show?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
You want to know what Skip's drink for Sean is?
What?
Oh
I
shit!
don't know.
What?
Alizé and Hennessy over crushed ice with a slice of orange.
Ooh, that sounds
He
good.
said Alizé, so he said
Alizé?
incredible. Wait. So Skip said Incredible Hulk, Alizé, and Hennessy.
Basically.
Oh, wait. Over Sonic Ice.
And he said Sean's guilty pleasure is a CB4 soundtrack.
I'm black, y'all.
Hey, Sean. Now I know I'm not the only
Hey, no,
one who did that.
listen. Don't sleep on that soundtrack. That soundtrack.
And then Bianca out of Houston said Sean doesn't have any guilty pleasures. He's revealed his tell-all.
Yeah.
Hey,
Sean.
sis. Hey, Bianca.
Only on what's good.
That
Only on what's
soundtrack
good.
introduced us to Blackstreet. Don't sleep on it.
All
Hey,
right.
Sean.
My other question for you, Sean, is look, you mighty casual today, right? So most folks see Mr. Sean Williams, Cohiba man, suits, collars, cufflinks, etc. But what's your thing? We can look at this video right now and see Michael. We can see Michael, we can see Louis, we can see Arlene, we can see the hat game, the jewelry,
what's Sean's
etc.
game?
But what
What's
is
Sean's
Sean?
game?
There you go. What's Sean's thing? Socks, cufflinks, hat. What's your thing? What are you bougie about?
I hope I'm not bougie about anything.
He's not far from bougie.
I'm gonna just make the face, Sean.
He's far from bougie. Slowly says,
if you notice, I don't do hats. I like hats. It's just never been my thing. So I don't own a hat. Sky pieces.
I feel you. My head don't work with hats either.
Yeah.
I love hats.
For me, probably the thing is like the thing that I pay a lot of attention to is probably pocket squares. Because it's just a simple way to accessorize something, to dress something up, to add an accent. The clothes are the clothes. My clothes are, as far as the suits or whatever, that is what it is. But, the thing where you can really add flair or not add flair or whatever is a pocket square. So that's kind of like.
Oh, that's interesting.
Hey, babe.
Now, are you also
pocket squares, Louis?
What?
huh?
Do you remember sending Sean any pocket squares when we were in LA?
No, you gave me a pocket square in was it 2014 in Vegas?
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right. We did. So Skip says, look for this man's Kentucky Derby outfits.
Oh
shit.
Oh, my Kentucky Derby outfits were pretty tame.
Mm-hmm.
Were you wearing like those tight pants? Like the
Who?
And he said,
were you wearing like the tight rider pants?
He says bougie as fuck.
No, you weren't wearing like the rider pants.
Arlene.
I'm just
Oh my
asking. The riding pants.
Yeah, no.
Arlene, you want to see Sean in some riding pants?
What?
You want to see Sean in some riding pants?
Yeah.
So basically, you asking Sean if he wears leggings?
Yeah, that's cute. Riding pants.
Yeah, no.
Like the football players, like we like to see him in the tight pants.
So Scully says, why am I getting nervous for Sean when Casey says, I have another question?
Oh Lord.
Wait,
Yes. I get nervous for Sean.
wait,
I'll jump to
Scully
that.
ain't never experienced that from me.
I
I
get
need
nervous
Scully
for
to
Sean.
settle down. No, my questions are tame. I'm being nice to Sean.
Damn.
Yes, you are.
Why? You know what?
Sean is
It's not. Look, Louis. It's not even Michael. Why does everybody think I'm gonna dig up some like crazy foreign? Like people think I'm TMZ.
We never know what's gonna come out of her, Sean.
You are.
Hey, Sean,
We never know.
here you go, bro.
We have questions, but she
Wait,
don't stick
me?
to
I'm
the
not
script.
good to that. Yes.
Hold up.
but it's
While
just-
Michael's drinking
Y'all
over there.
need a drink.
Hold up, y'all. While Michael's drinking over there with his pinky in the air. Michael, I'm innocent. I just want to ask the questions
Okay. I'm really drinking to that.
that the people want to know the answers
Casey,
to.
you have not been innocent since you came out the womb.
I'm innocent.
You haven't.
Have we
Yeah, okay.
asked Sean everything that we wanted to know?
Okay, so I'm gonna hand this off to Arlene in just 30 seconds. But Sean, what is one thing we should know about you that people just don't know? Tell us a little. Give us a little bit of
He's told us everything.
something.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not being coy, but I've been around for a decade and a half.
He said, "I'm not being coy."
Yeah, I mean, I was like, yeah, I don't know. You know what? As much as you guys talk about like, oh, I do this, I'm pretty boring actually.
Bullshit.
Are you an introvert, Sean?
I'm not an introvert. But,
You're not an introvert.
but I'm a bit of a home. I'm a bit of a home.
Louis will talk. Louis talks mad shit about my expressions, but you like, I'm really boring. Here's my expression for that.
Yeah, like seriously, like you don't ask people here in Atlanta. Like I don't go out. I don't and it's not. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. Like I just like to be when I'm not traveling, not moving around. I just want to chill, man. Like
It's called moving in silence.
Mm-hmm.
There you
That's
go.
what makes it interesting.
All right. So you have led.
I think I'm getting old. Like I don't know like a lot of like pop. Like I'm missing the pop culture references now. Like my daughter say something like, "Who's that?" Like,
Oh,
you know
me
this is
too.
that?
Hey,
I'm like, yeah, no.
Sean.
Then I'm thinking, damn, I'm that dude. Like,
But you have daughters from 13 to 30 plus. You should know all the pop references, sir.
I don't.
It's overload. It's overload.
Yeah.
And some of these people shouldn't even be stars.
Wait,
It's
wait.
like, really?
Look,
Like,
Louis,
that's
Louis, as I sit back in auntie who has no kids.
Hey, Sean, I'm gonna ask you this, man. I'm gonna ask you this. You obviously you're definitely into music, man. Everybody knows that about you. And I know I'm not the only dude back in the day where we used to get those little smooth tapes, whatnot, with the smooth R&B, slow jams, and what have you, trying to put your game out there. What was on that one cassette tape that you recorded that was that favorite song that was just like your hit or quitter?
Mm.
Oh,
What's your favorite word?
Michael, that's a good question. That hit or quit.
No, I just want to know what that's only true.
Let me turn it back on you. What was yours?
Mine? Oh shit! I had, babe. I'm all about the R&B and the smooth. And come on now, you already know.
Back in the day, Michael.
It wasn't a tape. It was like it was certain artists. Like if it was going down, it had to be Luther, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Luther was it. But for my brother's generation, it was the Ozzy brothers. For me coming up, it was Luther.
Okay.
We're not talking.
This is Alexander
Sean.
O'Neal, you know what I'm saying? So,
But Sean, what is that one song, man, that just generates you think by yourself that nobody can hear you? That's like your shit. That smooth one.
I don't know. I don't have a
Is that
song. I'm not
jazz?
that dude. I don't have a song.
Okay, let me ask
I'm
Sean
too
one.
complicated to have a single song.
Skip,
Give me one.
Skip says, I saw you and him standing in the rain by Orange Judy.
Baby.
Hey, baby, how you doing?
Sean, okay, Sean, let me ask you this.
He said, that's the shower song.
That was actually one of my songs.
Sean, we know Michael's a little older than everybody.
Oh, Sean's my little big brother.
Same age.
Sean, Sean, how old are you, Sean?
I'm 51 and a half, I guess.
Okay. So I just wanted to know the generation.
Oh my God.
So when you were in school, you were coming up out of like the double tape decks, like Michael said. What is that one song you had, Lil Honey? You had somebody you were wooing over to the
Can you
cribs,
woo, woo, woo?
apartment, to the woo
Can you
woo
woo, woo, woo?
woo,
Okay.
to the apartment, to the dorm room, whatever.
Y'all are
What
killing
was
me.
that song?
Boy, you talking about going off the rails. Y'all killing me, man.
That's what we do.
What
If
was
there was
yours,
one
Arlene?
song,
What was
like
yours?
when I was in high school, there was one song that was like the song, "Tender Love," Force MDs.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay.
Aw.
okay.
I
Because
like that. I like
okay.
that.
So Force MDs, Tender Love. What verse?
Oh my
So you
God.
want to give it? No, I'm not.
Michael, get on your production. Michael, get on your production.
I gotta find this
You
shit now.
want to be a cowboy? Give him a toy, take a foot. Come on. You know.
Michael's over here interviewing. Michael should be on production. Michael should be popping up in verses right now.
Okay, so
Because I remember when I was in college, I'm 40, I'm about to be 48. So I'm slightly younger than the rest of you.
Not by much.
not my
No.
much. Casey,
But-
not my much.
Hold up. I say slightly younger because by the time I got to college, on my sound design, I had the tape deck and the 5-disc CD changer. I had Intro, Silk, R. Kelly,
Oh, shit.
Jodeci. Like,
Scully
Oh,
said,
yeah.
baby.
Key Sweat.
Oh.
There you go. That was
That's always gonna be.
there was the last one, Key Sweat. If you wasn't begging for me like Key Sweat, I ain't got nothing to do with you.
Oh,
There's a lot of babies made by Keith Sweat.
And I'm out here single with no motherfucking kids.
Okay.
I guess not enough Key Sweat for
Okay.
you.
Right.
All right.
Guess not.
Right. Because I'm look, because again, when we look at the screen and see all 5 of us, I'm gonna tell you, I'm innocent. I don't have any children.
It don't mean you're innocent.
Yeah.
I'll drink to that.
I'm gonna drink to
Look,
that.
Louis,
Let me
I'm not
Louis,
touching that.
take a
God
shot
looks
on
out.
that.
Look, Louis, God looks out for babies and fools. And I was only a baby till I was about 19 and a half years old.
Sean.
Arlene, bring it home, baby.
What
it home, baby.
do we expect from Sean in the next 5 years?
That's a
For
good
me,
one.
like individually in the next 5 years,
Just your career, your life, just in general.
it's a good question. Like me individually, like there's at the center of you know my persona, my public persona is obviously Cohiba, right?
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about not just what we got coming up, but what we've been able to do over the last few years. My big thing coming on board, and the Skip is still on here. He can weigh in. We go back a long way, so he understands the journey, right? And coming into this space, my big thing was adding to the audience, adding to the family that will rock with the red dot. But at the same time, not alienating the people that supported the brand for years before I came on board. And I always say, Cohiba was a behemoth of a brand before me. It would be a behemoth of a brand if I left today or tomorrow. But I want to make sure that I left it better than I found it. And I say I, but it's not just I. There's a team. There's an incredible team of people. I was just down in the DR. Was it last week or the week before?
Yeah.
With people that you guys will never meet, from Yuri Guillen, Jonas Diaz, Abel Cruz. We got Augustine Garcia at our factory in Honduras, incredible cigar guys. Matt Wilson, my senior brand guy, I get to work with. Gary, who's the director of all the events that I do. So there's incredible people I get to work with, and I want to do this opportunity proud, but at the same time push the envelope, which we are doing. Just little things. Just from a packaging standpoint, we tried to work to make the packaging more approachable and appealing. Thus, what you guys refer to as a lipstick case, which is crazy.
It's a
Good lipstick, babe.
It's
case.
not. So this is
All right now.
I actually stole this, and I will admit I stole this from one of our.
Sean, you didn't steal it. Sean,
No,
you
I
didn't
stole it. I
steal
stole
it.
it
You
from-
borrowed it.
Well, no, it's internal, so I can say it. So Partagas, if you guys have seen the Partagas Legend, they use these square tubes. So I like that.
You're
the
right.
coffin look.
Yeah.
The thinness acrylic, a really clean look.
Yeah, I like it.
And Partagas is the only other brand in the luxury portfolio for General Cigars. So I thought it would play well with our white boxes as well. So Partagas was first, and we've been on it, but it's all in the family. So I just stole from one of our little cousins, so to speak. But just constantly, challenging myself. Like, Cohiba is not inexpensive as a cigar, but I spend a lot of time with an incredible team of people trying to find tobaccos that quite honestly nobody else really has.
Right.
And that's, to me, that's like it's like unicorn huntress. Like I'm constantly hunting unicorns.
That's the key.
Oh, unicorn
That's the key.
huntress.
So really excited. We thought we would do Spectre for only 3 releases, and now we're already working on Spectre for next year. Incredible partnerships with Weller Bourbon, making a Cohiba here in the USA with the Siri M made in Miami.
What?
Pushing out, just new stuff. So the next 5 years is going to be really exciting from a brand standpoint.
Exciting.
Got some stuff that I'm going to be doing that you guys will see pretty soon. That's going to be in Europe and Asia as well. That's going to be pretty heavy as far as travel. So there's a lot going on. And then just from a personal standpoint, I just want to continue to grow and improve as a cigar maker. And that's not just about stuff that you guys see from the outside. I mean, I literally roll cigars at home. I'm constantly working on just understanding the tactile presentation better and the feel of how the leaves interact. So that's the easy stuff, kind of, right? Because that's in my wheelhouse. But going out beyond that, it's like I'm pretty simple. Like seriously, like I'm not enamored with a lot of material things. I mean, I like things or whatever, so I'm not chasing any of that. I want to be the best I can at making cigars and the best I can at creating, not just lifestyle, but just creating a life and opportunity for my family and people around me. Like seriously, that's it.
So
I think that's beautiful.
Yes.
Right. Sean, one of your peers, Eric Padron, has asked, what are your top 5 most memorable cigars?
Huh.
Yes.
All right.
Well, we're going to audience questions now. We have
So obviously, for me, and I'll start internally. With Cohiba, for me, it would probably be the Spectre 2019. The Spectre 2018 was crazy. Love that, and that was just a crazy experience being a part of that. With 23-year-old political vinyl, but then having to be able to do it a second time and really, in my estimation, go back to sort of my roots as a cigar maker with the Nicaraguan tobacco and come out with that. That's probably one of my favorite cigars of all time. So that's up there in my top 5. The Fuerte Double Chateau is always going to be there because it's the first cigar I smoked, so it has to be there. Padron 26 is still up there. First cigar I ever made when I actually became a cigar maker was a box press Maduro, and that was honestly one of the inspirations for that was Padron. And then I go back a little bit. The Avo LE07 still kind of stands out as one of my all-time favorites. And then it'll probably be my black label, Upper Ramundo Black Label. That cigar was really the one that kind of set me on a course to where I am now. It was the first cigar that got 91 ratings across several publications, got Best Buy designation in Cigar Journal, and that kind of really gave me like confidence and legitimacy. And then after that, I went on to do Legal Miami and Epiphany and Armagon and all these other cigars. But
Well,
that was the first one that was in, okay, I can do this.
Skip says, you better say Roma.
I don't have to. You just did.
Number six.
Hey, Sean.
He says that he's been on your team since El Primer Mundo.
He's been on my
wow.
team since back in the day.
Wow.
Now listen. And if you haven't had the well, I like the kind of the I don't know if I can say like the special release stuff that he does. Well, he knows. The Wanderlust is out there. People get that, right? Like you guys
You can say that.
I think the Wanderlust is in Europe.
Yeah, but it's here too, though. It's here.
So you're talking about something that like your number 6 is like an asterisk that a lot of people here in the States have not had yet.
Well, I'm not saying it's the number 6. I'm saying it's up there. The Baca, they're you know, so
They're just up there.
yeah.
So Sean, so you would do the Spectrum before the Weller?
Yeah. I mean, the Spectre 2019 to me, that cigar, man, was.
I think that's when I was smoking.
Deep rich sweetness, spice. Like it was the Spectre 2019 was a beast, man. Yeah. The Spectre 2021, which I guess is still just kind of released.
Well, I just nubbed the 18 all the way down to like literally.
Yeah, look at my Spectre.
All right, Sean.
You've been smoking that for a while.
Sean, I've got a cigar question for you. You are creating the cigar of the world.
Oh wow!
What kind of cigar? What kind of wrapper, binder, filler are we talking about?
No,
Lord.
No, see, you can't do that. Cigars are like wine or like food. Like I'm always just baffled where somebody's, I don't smoke anything but Maduros, anything but strong cigars. Well, you're not experiencing cigars.
Yeah.
Okay, Sean, let me ask you this.
But give us the flavors that make Sean happy, the spice, the sweet, the whatever. Even if it's not a particular wrapper, tell us your ideal cigar. What would that taste like?
Oh.
So
you are on the Essence cover. You are replacing Method Man. What would that taste like?
If I knew that cigar, I would have already put it out. So
right.
But for you, we're talking about your flavor profile. We're not talking about for Arlene, for Louis, for Casey, for Michael.
It's easy. My profile is vast. It's easy for me to tell you what I don't care for. I don't care for cigars that are too strong. I don't want a nicotine buzz in the shakes. I don't care for big ring gauge cigars. Anything above a 54 to me is a waste.
I agree. I agree.
So those are, and I don't like anything that's overly spicy. I like a nice balance. I want some spice, but I like more front of the mouth spice. I don't like spice that kicks in the back of the throat. I want something that wakes up the front of the palate. Everything I do, I want a little bit of sweetness, at least a little bit of sweetness. Some sweeter than others, but certainly have to have some sweetness there. Not really, really, really big on just unbridled earthiness. I like that if it's balanced with something else. So it's just kind of, there's things I don't like that I kind of stay away from, but everything else is wide open. Otherwise, you end up making the same thing.
Okay.
Right.
Now we've been nice to you. Let's circle back. Okay. Eric Padron got another question.
Yep.
When it's time for you to chill, what is your go-to cigar and pairing?
It depends on what kind of chill it is. Like I can tell you this.
Okay, let me preface it.
The Connecticut is kind of like that's an everyday cigar for me. The Cohiba Connecticut is an everyday cigar for me.
Let me preface.
I have it with double oak bourbon now, or I have it with coffee in the morning. So that's like, if I just kind of want to chill, I don't want to overthink it. I want something nice and easy and approachable. Cohiba Connecticut.
No. Let me preface. Your daughters have worked your last nerve about somebody, and you need to chill. You going in the room. You like, I can't deal with the wife no more. I can't deal with the girls no more. I need a moment. What is your go-to cigar and pairing?
That doesn't change for me. But listen, you ask me these questions like so I have cigars that some people never ever smoke because I literally roll them here. So a lot of times it's like, okay, I'm interested in escaping and trying something new, and it's something that I haven't even experienced before because I just rolled it. So for me, it's different. Like I don't have the only go-to cigar I can say that I smoke every day. Like if I need a moment, kind of chill or whatever, it's gonna be the Cohiba Connecticut. I smoke that one kind of like at least every day. Now, if I want something, and I say I want some power, depending if I'm drinking something else, probably the Royale. But a lot of times, and I'm not overstating it, a lot of times I'm smoking stuff that doesn't have a band and has never been smoked.
Okay.
So one question, Sean. Monteith Scully out of Little Rock, Arkansas. This is our brother out there. Did the Razorbacks shock you with a win over LSU?
Why you being mean? Like, who is this dude? Seriously?
Scully wants to know.
Hey,
we go.
that's Scully.
Yeah,
Scully gonna get us in trouble.
I've been shocked a lot by LSU. But I'm gonna remember him for that mean question you just asked.
Right. So how do you feel about the Super Bowl matchup then, Sean?
Hey, listen, I'm going with my man Joey B. Man, LSU's finest. So there's a lot of good representation from Louisiana. With Joe Burrows, Jamar Chase on the other side. You got Odell Beckham. So it's kind of cool. And it's also so good to see something work out because a lot of times, whether it's quarterbacks, running backs, whatever, typically quarterbacks. So you have Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks who are like the best ever in college, and they go to the pros and just never develop. In this instance, you got Joe Burrows won the Heisman Trophy, won the national championship, and then he went to the NFL. And 2 years in, he's showing that he was that dude for real, by getting into the Super Bowl. So it's gonna be fun to watch. Obviously, I'd rather be watching the Saints in the postseason, but I can go with LSU. How about that? There you go. 6 LSU players in the Super Bowl.
Wow!
Oh, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Eric. Eric is just full of knowledge.
Yes, he
is. Look, Eric is giving him the backup. Like there's 6 LSU players in the Super Bowl.
I appreciate it.
In the Super Bowl.
I appreciate it. So
apparently Eric has your back. Eric is not letting us mess with you too much.
Miss Arlene, we're going to take Casey away. We're going to let you ask Sean the last question, whatever it is that you want to ask him.
We've had Sean for 2 hours.
Oh my God, Sean! Thank you for putting up with us.
Right.
Yes, thank you.
For putting up with Casey.
Okay, Sean. We always do this kind of at the end, and we usually do words of wisdom, affirmations, whatever comes to your mind. But leave us that lasting impression of Sean Williams. Words of wisdom.
All right.
Michael.
It's tricky. And I hate to everybody's if someone is fortunate enough to find something that they're passionate about, that they're truly passionate about, not just something that seems like it's cool, seems whatever, but truly, truly, truly passionate about and can jump into it. 3 P's. Be passionate, persevere, because that's the big difference. Not everybody can ride it out. You want to know the difference between many successful people and many people who aren't? It's not necessarily because they were smarter, stronger, faster, whatever. A lot of times they just had the fortitude to stick it out.
Right.
So passion, perseverance, and if you do those things, at some point, the profit should follow.
Love that.
I like that.
Love it. Love
I
it.
hope everybody's taking notes.
Woo! What? It got quiet.
I know.
That's
something to really dwell on.
Look, Sean, thank you for letting us be who we are and letting us ask you all these crazy questions. But you didn't answer that one. The most embarrassing text or email
I really have to think about that. Like that's that's and
And
that's
he
not
may not have
important.
any. He may not have
Yeah.
any.
But everybody has
He
it.
keeps it
Everybody has
real,
it.
right?
Everybody has it. Everybody has it. I remember my email got hacked, and it was sending out this stuff to it's like, and you can't even do anything about that. Has that happened to you guys on social media, like all of the
Not
time?
yet, thank God.
No, thank God.
Yeah.
But
Oh no,
like
I've got most embarrassing texts, and it has nothing to do with a man. It was all amongst my female friends, but I will choose not to relive that.
yes, please don't tell us about that right now.
But thank
Arlene,
you,
I'll drink to that.
thank you all for having me on.
Oh my
It
God.
was
Thank
fun.
you. Thank you for
Sean,
being
you've been
yourself.
amazing.
Sean,
You've been
thank you for
so
being
fun.
you.
Sean, we wanted to say thank you so much, man, for spending this time with us and extending, your time with us. I'm going to ask you to not log off when we get done. And ladies, do you have anything else that you want to ask him real quick?
No, I'm
It's been
good.
amazing time with you, Sean. Thank you
It's
so
been
much.
fun. Thank you for being such a good sport.
Yes.
Look, we appreciate the extra time you took with us today. It's been fun.
And thank you to the viewers for just putting up with us.
Yeah, for hanging on. Thank you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And the
Eric
wonderful
Padron,
questions.
Eric
So thank you.
Padron says, Sean, it's been a pleasure listening and learning. I admire your morals and values and appreciate what you bring to the cigar community. It's always interesting learning one's backstory and how they made it. Thank you,
Well,
BOTL.
That's a great
I don't know if I
closure.
made it
That's
yet,
a great
but,
But-
thank you so much, Eric.
But to Louie and Michael, that credit goes to you all for creating the My Life series.
Oh, I love
Because
them.
we learn about the people behind the brands, the names, the personas.
Thank you.
Right.
Well,
Right.
we appreciate everyone being a good sport about it. And thank you
Thank
so
you.
much,
Thank you
Sean.
guys.
And we're gonna miss you in Brooklyn because I know that you're on
Yeah,
vacation.
yeah. You guys,
You know, JD asked about you, so it's like
Yeah, he asked today. As a matter of fact, no, he asked last night. As a matter of
last
fact,
night. Yeah, so yeah, we'll be missing you up there.
but we will see you this year.
Yeah,
So it's all good.
yeah.
All good.
Yeah.
So with that said, I just want to say again, thank all the viewers for coming on. Thank you, Sean. First and foremost,
Yes.
my little big brother, I got so much love and respect for you, man.
Yes.
And I mean, anything that Louie and I can do on our behalf,
Always.
dude, it's already done. It's nothing but a text or a phone call, dude.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank
Always.
you. Same here.
All right, y'all.
Salute.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, motherfuckers. I hollered.
Have
Right.
a great week, y'all.
We'll see you later, motherfuckers.
Peace. Peace.
Later.